Hey everybody, welcome back. In this video I'm going to talk about one of our favorite slash frustrating topics related to ability mats, and that's the T4 mat itself. One of the things that a lot of people were complaining about originally were how to get these T4 mats. Currently in the game, the easiest, well, I don't even know if I want to call it easy, but the way I'll call to get that is from your alliance's current ranking at the end of a season. As you can see here, it's about 13 days long, 13 to 14 days, and depending where you rank, you get a certain amount of rewards. Previously, these were terrible. I think it was outside the top 3. You basically got garbage, and they've obviously updated those now, where even in the top 20, 10, even the 25% is not too bad. So, a couple. Again, it takes weeks to get these. So, if you're at the bottom here, sorry, but you're gonna need a month just to upgrade one item. Obviously, if you're at the top, that's very different, and that's kind of how these games work. But hopefully you're in this 1 to 2%, 3 to 10% range if you're just kind of a free-to-play or pretty invested type of player. Our alliance has been top 1 to 2%, so this has only been the second time they've done it. So we got 150 this time and 40 last time. So as you probably saw when I was looking at my my roster here, I've got 190. So I can't upgrade a basic, or I can't upgrade a passive, but I can, if I wanted to, upgrade a basic ability, assuming my character is level 65. And I've got 100 grand of gold that, what am I sitting at, 122, so that's a whole nother issue. So anyway, the point of this video is to discuss the rankings of where you should spend those mats. It's a thing I've been seeing a lot of people talking about and asking questions is, what should I spend my T4 ability mats on? Obviously, depending what you focus between arena, raid, blitzing, all that kind of thing. Arena and blitz probably somewhat similar, but and depending what type of characters you've got, in your top squad. So, that's somewhat of a factor for me, and it's also something that you should consider yourself. And what I've done here is I've put, first I should say before I get in here, I left off a number of characters that I just thought were either not in the game yet, or extremely hard to get, or basically just crap. So I didn't put a number of these in here. Jessica Jones, maybe she's not crap, obviously she's a solid one, and a lot of minions I left off. But I looked at some of these and I just figured, a lot of people either don't have these or they're not really worthy of some of the spots here, even though I've got a couple that are obviously totally garbage. But anyway, that's the list of items that I've got. That I'll blow that up a little bit so you can see a little better, is that I left all of these characters off of this list. So, and in this list on this right side here that's its actual ranking. This is your T4 ability mat. This is kind of my general ranking of it. Here's a little description of the ability or the upgrade, and here's the the tune and whether it's the basic or passive. So as you can see here, I've got 1 through 54, and my ranking system, pretty generic here, is just kind of it's a great, good, okay, thinking about it, man, it's not so great, crap, and then just total crap. This one for Winter Soldier passive, 5 crit Hydra allies. Thanks, Crossbones. It's like, am I really going to spend 200, T4 ability mats? It took me a month to get. No, I don't think so. So anyway, let's just really focus up here at the top a little bit. To me, Star-Lord is a guy that not a lot of people get, but I really think that 50% chance to generate 1 or 2 energy to your adjacent allies, that's really solid. Spider-Man's basic right after that, I just really like the damage and the chance to evade up to 60%. Add that with some his dodge percentage, that's 60% air, potential 25% for his dodge, and he's not getting hit very often. I really like that one. Vision, this one I like probably, especially since they're 180 here, his basic. a solid double hit here, and then the additional chance to hit added targets for basically 50% there. I like that one at kind of the 3 slot. And then the Black Panther passive. This is basically where on any kill that he gets, his speed bar goes back to 100%. This is, I think, critical for end of fights, just kind of wiping a team out, or some of those raid nodes where you just get, I remember some of those hand nodes in, I want to say in Fuego or Thanos, where it's just, you get 30 minions and they just keep spawning, and because eventually their speed gets up, you get a bunch of hand assassins, heal blocking everybody, and you can't heal, and since there's 15 of them on the screen, they start taking you out. So Black Panther's a perfect, this passive is a perfect use in a situation like that, as well as obviously, if he's alive at the end of towards the end of a fight and can get some kills, he's going to take out an entire team. At my 5 spot, I've got Rocket Raccoon's passive. It's a little bit lower than what I'd want here. This could have been great in my mind, but the 40% chance to pass positive effects to 2 allies, that's pretty nice per turn. So I really liked that. Surprisingly here, I actually have a group basic that at 304, it's up a 40% damage, but up to 340. That's pretty some massive damage on just a basic hit. Same thing with the Star-Lord at the next spot. It's getting in your 300s. I like that a lot. This Thanos one, the passive, I actually struggled with this between great and okay, believe it or not, because the part I didn't like about it, there's 2 things. It's very, very situational. It's on a death of an enemy. Okay, so unless there's they're summoning minions or anything like your Kingpin or whatever, it's not going to happen, or it's not going to happen towards depending if you're still focusing targets or towards the end of a battle. And on top of that, it's only for adjacent cosmic allies outside of self. So I don't know. I didn't love it. I mean, obviously, he'll get himself if there's no cosmic ally adjacent, but and he'll be able to keep going. But I don't know. I struggle with that one a little bit. It could be higher. I think it could also be lower. I actually have this one potentially a little high especially for a minion. But the 340% damage increase for your hand sentry, given he's basically only got 2 abilities, so that's going every turn, or every, few turns depending, or actually it's every, it's all but every 3rd turn, I should say. Wolverine's passive, I just like that you're potentially healing for 20% every turn. That can be pretty brutal to take down towards the end of a fight if you don't have a lot of your team up, especially as, Hardy's he can potentially hit. That rounds out the top 10, and then in the next group here, these OKs, I've got Black Widow's passive at an increase of 5% speed. Speed is king or queen, depending on how you want to look at it, up to 15%. I originally had this Scarlet Witch passive lower, but I really like this chance to spread the negative effect at 50% per turn. I mean, that you could really spread a lot of stuff around there, and especially when you start getting her ult going, and if you get her right with the right team, a Mordo, Vision, all that kind of thing, they can really hurt a team. I think that's part of the thing I'm going to start bringing up here is, my Vision, Scarlet Witch, and Mordo squad, and kind of get those into Blitz. And don't know if they'll make my arena, but it's a thought there. Vision's passive, just more dodge. Obviously, a 0.25% chance to dodge 25%. Korath's passive, speed up for 2 turns. That could be a lot of speed up depending on when people are dying. Obviously, right away at the spawn, which is nice. This is another minion I had on here with your hand sorceress, especially with the Thanos villain specific nodes. If you're rolling her in there, a chance to stealth at 25%, it's pretty nice. Keeps her alive, healing, and from them picking her off as well, so she can just kind of poke a little bit and then heal the team and get those defense up. Your Rocket Raccoon, just basically a bunch of damage. Nothing real special about this. I don't love these numbers, but normally this would have been a lot lower, except for he had the crit percent in there, so kind of bumped it up a little bit. Again, another minion, hand sentry passive, 20% block chance, like that, especially given how he's used. That could potentially go up slightly. Hand sorcerer's basic, I just like the percentage here, 300%. It jumped it to this okay range, and that's at your what do I got her there at the 18th spot. Deadpool, I was actually pretty disappointed with the Deadpool T4 ability upgrades. Yeah, it's a 15% heal, which is nice per effect. What if he doesn't have any effects, on him, and especially if he's an AI, if a smart person going against Deadpool is not going to put any debuffs on him. So, don't know if I really love that one, but it still made the okay section just because that could be 30%, 45% a turn there, depending on what debuffs you got. Could be a nice counter for Doctor Strange. Your Thanos basic, the percent, honestly, that could probably be in these lower categories, but especially if someone's smart and sees a counter on Thanos, you're not going to, just don't hit them, so it goes away. So don't love that one, but I kept it there. This Night Nurse one, that one might be able to bump up, to be honest with you. I was on the cusp there. A 25% chance to heal your lowest health ally every turn. That's pretty nice, especially for how strong her heals are. This Yondu passive, steal passive, positive effects from 2 enemies, and again, another one that can probably move up a little bit, but that's currently where I've got it. And the rest of these, I'm not going to go through each one of them, but you can kind of see where I've got them. I'm just going to scroll down here and let it sit, for a few, so you can kind of get an idea of what I got here. You can pause the video and just kind of look at it, but a lot of these, I had them down here because I just thought the percentages were lower. They didn't seem to be that great in my mind for utility, especially given how long it could take to get these T4 ability mats. You got to be lucky to be in a top alliance or borderline top. I think I saw different charts where they were saying the top 6, 7, 800 alliances were able to get top 1 to 2%. I don't know if that's accurate data or not, but it seems right based on we were mid 500s, I think, and we were top 1 to 2%, and we could have definitely done a lot better. So that's the basics of this. The ones that I guess I'll show you at the end here is just that I think are just total and utter crap. I already mentioned this Winter Soldier passive, electric chance to revive 15%. Thanks for the extra hit that they get on her, but I think these revives, unless you're coming back revived, with 25% health, what's the point? Unless, again, it's someone takes an Electro out early on in the fight and, you get a Drax taunt in immediately after that. But revives to me aren't necessarily all that great unless it's a high percent chance to do it. And then I just didn't love this Hawkeye passive either with the low percentage there. But that pretty much rounds that out. Again, 54 abilities I got ranked there. Again, if you want to pause the video and kind of look at any of these. Obviously there's debate on a lot of this and what you might think might be totally different, but this is what I thought, and I'd love to see or hear what you guys think about this list and things you think should be higher or lower. Feel free to put those comments and or thoughts in the comments below, and if you like this video or you want to see any other type of walkthroughs, discussions in the game, please click the subscribe button and the like button below, and we'll see you guys again soon. Thanks.